Hello my beautiful friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Tara. Today we are going to take another look at the Morphe X Jeffree Star Artistry palette. In my last video I did mention how I would like to have a play with some of the neutral shades in this palette, because that's something that I would use in my day-to-day life, more for work and just, you know, just every day. I don't tend to wear a lot of more colourful rainbow looks to work or just in my real life. I do them for my YouTube channel, and I will wear them on my eyes and go out if I've done a video and done my rainbow looks, and occasionally I'll put quite a bright look on for my everyday living. But for the majority of the time I usually will use more neutral shades and do more smoky eyes, and I really do steer towards more of a neutral colour story any other time except for when I'm playing with new makeup. So I would like to have a play with this little guy again. I am actually going to work after this video, so I am going to do something on my face, on my eyes, that I can wear to work once I'm finished filming. So I thought, what better time than film a neutral look right now? So we've all seen the palette, and I am actually going to stay away from the greens and these ones up here, the pinks and the purples. So Mogul, Self-Made, Pink Fleet, Nate and Wake and Bake. I'm going to stay away from those shades today. The orange shade up here, Wand Noise, it's almost on the neutral spectrum in my opinion, so I'm going to leave that one in there. And what we're going to do now is we're going to pretend this is a neutral palette when you take away these couple of shades, which I did mention in my last video that I believe that Jeffree Star's input into the whole colour story mainly focused around the bright colours, because Jeffree's not known for doing a neutral palette. So I think quite a lot of the shades are actually filler shades. But that's okay, because like I said, I tend to gear more towards a neutral palette for every day. So I'm excited to see if this is something that I can potentially grab for more often, so that it doesn't just sit on my pretty shelf with the rest of my beautiful rainbow coloured palettes that I don't get as much use out of as I do out of some of my more neutral shades and neutral palettes. So if you do want to see my first video where I had a play with this guy but with some of the more colourful shades, just like everybody else did when they first got this palette and reviewed it, I will pop a link up in the cards for you. You can go and check out my first video if you like, and then come back and see this one. Just put everything into a bit more context so you understand where I'm at with my thought process. So I do think that I want to try some of the orangey, peachy shades, because I love orange. It's one of my favourite colours to wear on my eyes, and these are quite muted, so I do consider these more neutral. And I'm going to first dip into this one here, which is called Honest Truth. I'm going to use my Jeffree brush, the JS8. It's a nice big fluffy crease brush. These are so bloody powdery. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but there's just a lot of waste with these shades. So I'm just going to do my eyeshadow just as I would when I'm just standing in front of the mirror getting ready for work, and I usually start with a lighter shade and I blend it into my crease, and I usually will go up a little bit higher on the outer corner, and that gives me my initial shape. And I do actually really love this shade for a soft transition shade. It's got a beautiful tone to it. I can't really describe it. It's peachy, so it's in between orange and pink. When it goes on the skin, it's almost got like a hint of neon. Like, it's probably not really translating on the camera very well, but anybody that owns this palette, check this shade out because it's absolutely beautiful. Honest Truth it's called, and it is a stunning shade for a transition shade, especially if you're doing more of an orangey kind of neutral look, or orange neutral smoky eye, which is probably what I'm going to call it. Now I have to be mindful that I am going to be wearing this to work, because usually when I film something for YouTube, I'm not really being very conscious of the fact that I have to go out, but I'm going to work and I have to remember that. So I have to remember to not let this get out of control too quickly, because a lot of my looks get out of control unintentionally while I'm filming. It's a whole different experience too. Anybody else that makes YouTube videos, you'll probably agree that when you're applying makeup in front of a camera, it's just very different to when you're casually doing it in front of a mirror, and not in front of a camera. It is different. It feels different. I don't know, me personally, I kind of feel like, I don't know, it's weird. How do I explain it? It's like I don't have as much control over what, how much I put on and what I'm doing. And I don't know if it's because I feel like I'm in a hurry so that my video doesn't end up 50,000 minutes long or what it is, but it definitely feels different to when I'm just putting on my makeup in front of the mirror. So this is probably going to be a bit tricky to keep it on the more muted side so that I can go to work. Alright, so that looks really good actually for a nice transition shade. I'm in love with the tone of this shadow, I really am. Okay, so I am going to go into Wand Noise, which is this really nice orangey shade, and it is muted. It's got a really funny undertone. I'm not quite sure how to explain it really. Anybody else that has the palette, again, have a closer look at that Wand Noise shade and let me know in the comments if you agree that it's definitely a very unique shade of orange. And it's not really a matte, it's not a shimmer, I think it's more like a satin. So I'm going to apply it on this brush, which is the JS5, and I've mentioned this before, like I'm not at the point yet where I understand what different brushes do for different parts of the eye. So I grab a brush that looks like it's going to do what I want it to do, and I don't put a whole lot of thought into, is it the correct brush for what I want to do? I don't know. I haven't got to that point yet in my makeup journey and my learning. So as long as it does what I want it to do, then I'm happy. And I think that should apply to everybody. Why should you only use a brush for what it says that it's for on the packaging? I mean, there's no rules. So I'm going to apply this shade, and this palette is getting heavy. I'm going to switch over to my compact mirror because the palette mirror was getting a bit heavy. Anybody else bought this palette and had to play with it? I've had a few of my subscribers comment that they have got the palette and they've had to play with it and they actually really like it, which is fantastic. Just because one person doesn't like it doesn't mean that other people can't. And that applies to every single piece of makeup that you can get your hands on, or really anything in general, like not just makeup, but anything. Just because someone else likes it doesn't mean you have to, and just because someone else doesn't like it doesn't mean that you can't love it. So I think that's awesome that I've already had a few people tell me that they really love this palette, which is awesome, because it was really affordable. It was, I think, $35 US, I think. It was about $55, $60 Australian, which compared to other Jeffree Star Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes is really cheap, because I paid $85 for the Jawbreaker palette. Actually, it was $125 for the bundle of the Jawbreaker palette and the Mini Breaker. So $125 Australian for the bundle of those two palettes. I paid $85 for Blue Blood, so $55 I think it was, $55 or $60 for this palette. It was pretty good. So this shade goes on different as well on the eye. It's not quite as orange, but more of a very soft neon orangey pink, and I really love this colour too. But it's very sheer. Like, I don't know if it's because of the brush I'm using, but I think it probably is because I'm using more of a fluffy brush, which is exactly what I want, but it's definitely much sheerer on the eye than in the palette, which is good because I don't want crazy pigment on my eyes right now. So I'm happy with that. I have got a little bit of fallout just here from Wand Noise, which I'm not entirely impressed with, but it's gone, so at least it brushed off. I have so much trouble brushing off fallout. It usually doesn't brush off, it usually spreads across my face. So, okay, so I do want to add just a little bit of deepening in the outer corner. So I'm going to go in with Los Angeles, which is, I don't know how to describe it. It kind of reminds me of the 60s and the 70s decor, like the orangey brown colour. I'm hoping that this doesn't ruin what I've got going on already, but I just want to deepen the outer corner just a little, so I'm going to pop it right in there. And I like this brush. This brush is really funny, like it's not rounded it's flat when you go this way. So it's got a nice sharp edge on it just to get in there without spreading that colour too far. Now I forgot to mention too that I haven't put any primer on my eyes, because in my experience when I do use a primer, that's when I get more full on intense pigmentation, and I'm not looking for that today. I want a sheer wash of colour. So I've gone without primer, and that usually works for me. If I don't use a primer, I can definitely sheer out the shades a lot better. So I think that's okay. I mean, it's not revolutionary, but it's okay. So I am going to do something really quickly on my lower lash line as well. I think I'm just going to go back into One Noise, just with this nice little flat brush I just used. I've cleaned it off on my pants again. I'm not wearing these pants to work, so it's okay. But I'm going to use that brush, and I'm going to just dip it, just the end of it, into that shade. And I'm just going to just pop a little bit on my lower lash line. Again, because I want a more wearable look, just something soft. I'm not going to go crazy under here with colour. But I do like a little bit of colour on my lower lash line, but not too much. Like, it's just enough to just add a touch of colour without going crazy, so I tend to not blow it out a lot. I'm so sorry that if you can hear all the traffic going past my bedroom window. I never really took that into account when I decided to set up a new area to film in. I thought, yes, in my room it's going to be nice and quiet. I'm going to be able to come in here and film, and it's going to be silence, and it's going to be fantastic. And then all the traffic, because I live on a highway, so you hear cars, you hear trucks. I just can't win. I cannot win. So we kind of just have to live with the noise of the cars going past. I'm sorry. Now again, that One Noise has left a heap of fallout, and I only went in really lightly too. I didn't pick up a lot of product, and I didn't apply a lot of product, and I didn't use a lot of force either. But it still fell out all over my face. So that's one criticism I've got about that orange shade up here, One Noise, is that it's really, really dusty. There's a lot of kick up in the pan, but it also leaves a lot of fallout on your face without even trying. So that's a little bit disappointing, but at least it brushes away and doesn't spread. So that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to now pop something on my lid. I'm going to use a little bit of Dog Mum, which is that beautiful light peachy shimmery shade, and I'm going to spray it. It's quite crumbly, but I don't think it's as crumbly as Jeffree Star's shimmer formulas that are in his palettes. It's definitely not as crumbly, but it is still crumbly. So I'm going to pop that right there in the centre, and it's really pretty and almost foiled when you do spray it. That's nice. I did use this shade last time, but I don't think I sprayed it, so I don't think it was quite as intense. And it could also be because I'm putting it on a more muted background, but it's very pretty. But yeah, I stand by what I said in the first video. It doesn't have a lot of colour pigment once it goes on the eye. It's got a lot of shimmer, but not a lot of colour. And for my inner corner, I am going to use this beautiful pinky shimmery shade, which is called 2. I'm just going to pop that on the inner part of my eyelid. I keep going backwards and forwards from the palette mirror to my compact mirror. I don't know why, but oh well. And I decided not to spray this one because I didn't want it to be as intense as the Dog Mum shade in the centre. When you don't spray it though, there's a hell of a lot of fallout. Okay. Looks alright. It's pretty. It is pretty. Okay, so I better get rid of that fallout before it sticks and before I forget it and spray it to my face. Well, it's stuck. So now I've got glitter all over my face. Alright, last little thing to do now is just to pop something in my inner corner, and I'm going to use the shade Designer Label, which is this little golden shade right down here, and I'll see how it goes without wetting the brush. Yeah, that's fine. Had I wet the brush, it would have been too intense, I think. I didn't really want an intense eye look today, so no point having an intense inner corner highlight shade. And I always do drag whatever I use on my inner corner, I always drag it down and sort of blend it just in here. What's that shade called? With that One Noise shade on my lower lash line. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to do shadow wise. I'm going to go and I'm going to finish my eyes. I'm going to do some eyeliner, some mascara and the rest, and I'll be back in a jiffy. Okay, so I'm back. Maybe this look is not quite as neutral as I had first intended, but it is quite muted. It is very pretty, and I'm happy with it to go to work. To wear this to work, I'm okay. I'm satisfied. I'm not sure if it's the brushes or the eyeshadow, but there's just something that I'm not really... I don't know. I don't know if I don't like it, or if it's hard to work with, or I just don't feel like they're very pigmented. I'm not sure what it is. I'm gonna have to try the palette with my own brushes, and I'm gonna have to try the brushes with another palette that I know works well for me, because I've only used the brushes and the palette together, and there's just something that I can't pinpoint that's not quite right. And I do chalk that down to my inexperience, because I'm not still very familiar with how to determine what's a good formula, what's a bad formula. Obviously, you know, there's formulas and products and brands out there that are just complete rubbish, and it's obvious that it's rubbish. But as far as it being a good top-notch formula or great brushes, I'm still learning. So I'm not sure what one of the two is making me feel like there's something not quite right, but there definitely is something not quite right. But I am happy with how this turned out. I think it's very pretty, it's very soft, and it's okay for me to wear to work. So yeah, while it's probably on the more colourful side of the possibilities of a neutral look with this palette, it's okay. I'm happy with this. I think it's pretty. And I'm happier with this than I was with the first look I did. The first look I did was a little bit too outrageous, especially to wear to work. So all I've got on my eyes is, well, actually, I've got a myriad of products on my eyes, but I just have a black eyeliner that I put in my upper waterline, because I like to have a very top heavy look, so very solid on the top and a little bit softer on the bottom. And then on the bottom I just have my brown eyeliner and a gold eyeliner in my waterline. So the brown eyeliner's on my lower lash line, and this one has a little sponge on the end, so I could sort of smudge it out a little bit. And then on my waterline is my gold eyeliner. And just used my Mud liquid eyeliner, the black one, to do a wing. And this is my favourite mascara. I show you this every time I do anything, you know, I show you my mascara, and it's the Colossal Big Shot Maybelline mascara. It is my favourite, just because I've been using this for years and it's tried and true. You know, it's one of my most favourite mascaras. And on my lips is just my favourite MCO Beauty lip gloss, because I can't really use a lot of colour on my lips to go to work. Well, I can, but I just choose not to. Okay, so the shades that I used were Honest Truth, Wand Noise, Boss Angeles, Dog Mum 2, and Designer Label. And just like the first look, it all kind of blended in to make one colour. I'll give you a quick look. Considering, again, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I used 6 shadows, but you can't really tell I used 6 shadows. I don't know, I think a few of my opinions are still the same as my first video, but I do really love this. I think it's really pretty, and I am pretty confident that I'm going to be pulling for this a lot, just for these really nice, soft, pretty looks, because it's what I would usually wear. So being that I usually wear more like this in my day-to-day life, that means that I'm going to pull for this, and I am going to get my money's worth. So I'm really happy about that. As far as doing more editorial and rainbow bright coloured looks, this palette, it's missed the mark on that. But this is definitely, in my opinion, once again, in my humble opinion, it is a glorified neutral palette. And, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion, so if somebody out there doesn't agree, then that's cool. Let's agree to disagree and move on, because it's only makeup, it's not that deep. But yeah, I am happy because I am going to be able to use this, so I can happily say that as far as being able to do everyday, day-to-day looks, definitely a really good palette. And it's going to be very versatile. I'm going to be able to do quite a few different pretty soft smoky looks, not just the typical cool brown or warm brown smoky eye. So that's exciting for me too, because I do a lot of smoky eyes and they're always either a cool brown or a warm brown. So I'm excited that I have some other shades that I can use to do this and not have it blow way out of, you know, the realm of a soft smoky eye and turn into some gargantuan rainbow look, because that's just not what I want. Yeah. So yeah, I am off to work. I am going to run late if I don't shut up and stop talking. So I'm going to go get dressed and go to work, and make sure that you go and check out my giveaway video. I'll pop a card up for you, or here, whichever side. I don't know, I haven't worked that out yet, but I'll pop a card up. Go and check that out, because I've been putting up a heap, I'm trying to put up a lot of snaps. I do my daily affirmations, my daily positive affirmation cards. I've been posting those. I've been posting a lot about my crystals and just some, I don't know, some random stuff that I've been doing while at work. And go and check it out. Check out the giveaway video, because all you have to do is add me on Snapchat and you'll be in the giveaway. There's about a week to go on that and I will draw a winner. So get onto that. If you are new here, I always forget, please like my video, because it means a lot to me to know that people are enjoying it. I get lots of comments from people saying that they love the video, but I want to see some likes. Like, let's get real. I need those likes, because the more likes I get, the more YouTube pushes my video out to new viewers. So please like my video. Leave me a comment if you've got anything to say. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, because I love to have you all here. I have built quite a few beautiful friendships with some of my subscribers who I chat with. I chat with a lot of people via email even. I really love it. I've met so many amazing people. I've made some gorgeous friends, and I want to meet more people. So yeah, subscribe to my channel so that you are here and you know when I'm here. And go and have a great day, night, morning, evening, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever you're doing, wherever you are in the world. Don't forget to go and do something kind for someone today, because it doesn't cost you anything. It takes very, very little effort, and it'll make you feel good to make somebody else feel good, I guarantee. Until next time, bye.